Okay, guys. In this series, I'm going to talk about the importance of the rolled in embouchure and why we use it, especially in the upper register. First of all, it protects the inner lips here. This is our vibrating surface. This is what's doing the actual oscillating in there. By rolling in, we protect these reeds from the mouthpiece itself and the pressure of the mouthpiece with it. It also helps us to resist the air. Excuse me. And by resisting the air, it causes it for a better vibration. It obviously gets us for a better endurance. With the better endurance, we can play longer and actually play more musical because we're not getting fatigued. I like to use the analogy of some woodwinds. So if you permit me, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to start with the flute on this side. And flutes kind of use a rolled in embouchure as well because they're trying to control the speed of the air through the head joint here. So if you watch, when I set, I actually roll in a little bit. Now it looks like I roll out, but it's because I roll in, when I push the air out and exhale, it rolls my lips out so they can, resist the air. And you'll hear a difference when I go to different registers on the flute. And if you can tell, the aperture gets a little smaller as well. And it's the same principle as playing the trumpet. I'm compressing the air to play the higher harmonic. Less compression for the lower harmonic. And the flute doesn't have to worry about protecting lips as much. But if you watch, I'm actually protecting my lip by anchoring right here. You can see my lips away from the metal, at least the metal of the hole of the head joint here. So they are protected so they can let all this do its work. Now obviously the reed is not here. The reed's the vibration of the air across. But it's kind of the same thing. And I learned some things by playing the upper register of the flute that had a very similar feeling when I went to the trumpet. It made it a lot easier. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Is with the rolled in is, controlling the compression there. And if you look, I'm not using a lot of muscle to change that compression. I have it set, and I let the air come out with this set. All right, the other one I want to show you is a clarinet. And same thing with the saxophone. You actually roll and tuck your bottom lip in to protect your lip and your teeth from that. And a little bit of your top lip is curled in. So it forms a seal. So you can push the air. That's unfurled. That's rolled in. Now, obviously, I have more air there, but because this is rolled in, I can compress the air and let the other harmonics come out. And of course, if I want to play lower harmonics, it's less compression. Higher. See the difference? Lower. Sorry. Higher. So it's slight, But all this really is fine motor skills, even on the trumpet. You know, roll it in. You can see here. Sorry, let me find the camera lens. Let's roll it in. I mean, I'm not extreme because I want to have control for the fine motor skills, but I want to roll in so that the red part isn't exposed to at least the rim here of the mouthpiece. I want to keep it comfortable and safe. And when I push the air through it, it does, unfurl a little bit, but it's inside the mouthpiece. I don't have that going on, which, exposes way too much and can get hurt. We don't want that. So, okay. And you might see a little ring when I take it off right there because of the compression, because it's resisting. This is resisting the air with that. All right, so how do we find our set? Well, some people like to do the free buzz. I like the basic of the free buzz like this just to warm up everything. But I don't want to play like that. That's too much exposed. But I'll actually do more of a squeak buzz. You can see, roll it in. And my jaw becomes like a rudder, for the air to go through. And I'm not going to get too much into that because Jordan does a fantastic, job of explaining that, and I'll let him do that. All right, so free buzz is one way to find your set. Now, obviously, it's going to be different when you have the mouthpiece in because the horn reacts, and that's a different subject. Roll it in, see? All right, now, Jordan talks about the pencil exercise for finding the roll in and blowing across, and that works too. But here's another take on it, and he does talk about this, and that's the coffee stirrer or the straw. I'm going to go roll in. And the nice thing is you can actually blow through this and put some air in there. See, I was resisting the air and until I let the air come out and it has that pop explosion. Basically what happens inside your mouthpiece. But that's a good way to find it. Another good way is with a visualizer. And a lot of people are like, oh, I can't afford a visualizer. Yeah, you can. You can make one. And this is a bottle cap of a water bottle. Okay? All I did was cut it off, poked a hole in the middle, so I have a rim for cushioning. And then you can get up close. And see what it's doing. Because sometimes we need visuals. And if it not works for you, you just take off that. And shut it up. See if I can get a good shot here. Now, the lips will come loose or open, it seems, because of the air compression. But I'm trying to roll in so I can get my lips inside the rim to protect these. Yeah, I want these to be able to oscillate and move. I'm not trying to keep them, behind my teeth, per se. I'm just trying to keep them protected. Okay? So that is a good way of doing it and finding your set. Another one I found in teaching lessons with my students, and that is to start with your lead pipe out and make sure this is clean, and your mouthpiece off, and you're going to buzz the lead pipe. Now be careful, because you don't want to hurt. This is not a thing of force. You're just going to set put it to your lip, and it's going to feel very tiny. And you're going to let the smallest part of your lip vibrate to find where that set is. Because this will make you roll in. You don't want to... That hurts. I mean, it's... So this will get you very sensitive to what you're doing. And the really cool thing is when you put your mouthpiece in, your mouthpiece is going to feel huge. So you'll be able to roll in quite easily. Now you can feel what's going on in there. So, and then of course, if you want, you can put the lead pipe back in and work on the harmonics to see what you have. Low C, G. This is going to feel huge. That's a good way to find it. Now, I don't recommend doing that very often. It's almost like an isometric exercise. Like even right now, my corners are feeling really burning and such. But it's a good way to find what you're doing. So if you, and sometimes I'll do that periodically. I'm playing, and it's like, man, my lips feel a little sore. They shouldn't be doing this. Maybe my set's wrong. And I'll go ahead, and take the lead pipe out and the mouthpiece, and just... Okay, that's what the feels like. Okay, that's what the muscles are doing. And then put the mouthpiece back on. Ah, okay, now I know what it feels like. And go from that. So, those are just some ideas. Some other people, and I've done it before, will use a trombone mouthpiece because it has a bigger area. And you can feel what the mouth is doing there. The only problem with it for finding your rolled in is because it's so big, you'll have a tendency to roll out more so, even though you're inside, and you'll try to take that feeling to the trumpet, and it's just so much smaller, which is why I like using the lead pipe first to get you into a smaller aperture, and then onto the trumpet mouthpiece. So those are just some ideas here I wanted to share with you. I hope it helps you. And I have some other things I'm planning on sharing with you guys. And until then, I will see you.